Hello everybody, this is Annie from Annie's Stampin' Corner, and I wanted to stop by today and show you the Altered Easter mixed media tag that I created. And I'm really liking the way it came out. And I'm just going to give you a couple of the details of what I did. I first took some paper that I had right here, and this is old, and I just laid that on there with some matte medium, attached it, and then I took a coat of the gesso and went over the top of it. After I did that, I did take some of the stencils that I have, which were Prima stencils, and I used the damask one. This is one of my favorites. I'm really in a habit of using this one a lot, so I used this one, and then I used this one right here, which is the crackle kind of look, crackle paint. I'm not sure, but I used this one. So these are the two stencils that I ended up using, and what I did was I just went in random spots and added it, and you can see right here where I added the crackle one, and then I did some of the damask, and you can see right in here there's some of the damask in there, hidden in there. And then down at the bottom, and I added a couple of doily strips, put those on there, and you can see those at the bottom right here, and you can see they're not all attached. I like the way they pop up and they're bubbling. They don't, you know, they didn't attach all the way because I wanted that look. So after I did that, I then took my gelatos and started playing, and I just like it because you can go back. It's just getting your hands dirty and having fun and enjoying yourself. So I ended up using some of the gelatos. I used the blues and the greens and a little bit of yellow and some of the white, and I went in and I just played around with the background till I got the background the way I wanted it. I then took some of the Lindy Stamp Gang sprays, and these are the flat Fabios, and I used this South Shore Sand and Ocean Blue, Breeze, and then I used some of this green, which I'm about out, need to get some more, Aloha Avocado, and this is one of my favorite greens that they do. I really like the green that it is. So I used those, and I created the background. I did layers of the gelatos, and then I added some of that on the top of it to darken it in spots and let it run. I wanted that variation of dark and light, and I just liked the way it looked. So that's the way I did the background. After I did that, I decided I wanted to do some bunnies with some Easter eggs. So I started searching around, and I found, I knew what I wanted, I just couldn't find it. So I went on the Silhouette, and I found, I put a search in for chocolate bunnies. And because what I had in my head was using the Tim Holtz bunny, but I didn't have that because they look so much like those chocolate bunnies you can get at the store for Easter. So I went on there and I just put in chocolate bunny, and these came up, and they were just so cute. And what I did was I just flipped it. Did a mirror image of it, and then did a girl and I did a boy, and just had them in the field and put a bunch of vines and flowers around them. And what I did was this flowers and the vines, I got these also from the Silhouette store. It's a vine, I forget what the name of it is, but I got that. I just love my Silhouette because when you're doing a project, you can go on there and you can search for what you're wanting, and that's how usually I buy my stuff. I just don't sit in a shop and then just put stuff in my cart. What I'll do is if I'm doing a project and I got an idea in my head, I'll start going on there and I'll look, and then if I see something that catches my eye and I think I'm going to use it, I'll put it in my basket. When I start to work on my project, I go back and look at my items, and if it's something I want to use, I purchase it. It's so much easier to do that, and then you don't have to buy a full cartridge. I had the Cricut machine, and it was okay, but it didn't get my use. I've already got my use out of my Silhouette so much more, and I've not even had it as long as I had my Cricut. So I just am so loving my Cricut. I mean my Silhouette. So it's just, you know, it's easy, it's there, you just purchase what you want, you don't have to have all this other stuff. Half of my Cricut cartridges I never use. But enough about the babbling, so let me finish telling you what I did. So I cut out a couple of the bunnies, and I cut a bunch of these vines out. And these were long vines, they were about 12 inches, and I cut 2 or 3 of them out. And I took my chalks, let me show you the chalks I took, just because I can't think of, I have a problem saying her name, so I'm going to tell you what they are. These are the Mary Engelberg Bloom chalks, and I just purchased the set with the 46, and I need to get the pastel ones. But I'm loving these. They're so easy, and they're so nice, and they're really liquid, and they're so easy to use with mixed media. That's what I like about them, because I like the mixed media aspect with them. Everything on here that I colored, the vines and the eggs and everything were colored with this. And you can just do so much with them. And what I did was I colored the vines with this rock moss and with the garden grass. And what I did was I first colored them with this. Then I took them and I went around the edges and I put the garden moss on there. I also took the stamp that I have here, which is the Amazing Grace stamp that I purchased. And I purchased this from Heartfelt Creations, and this is one of my favorite stamps too. I just love it on backgrounds and everything, and I just thought it went with this. So I used this, and if you look, you can tell that I stamped all of the leaves. So there's so many layers going on here, and I just love it. And then on my flowers, I just took some flowers that I had. These are Wild Orchid Crafts, different flowers. I'm not sure about the roses right here. These are Wild Orchid Crafts, the small ones, and the these right here. And what I did was I used my aluminum arts. Let me get a couple of them to show you. I know I should have had all these ready, and I'm sorry about that. Next time I'll try to do better. But these are the aluminum arts little tubs. They're hard. You put some water in them. You can see this is one of them I used yesterday, and it's still kind of creamy. But the vibrancy on these, oh God, I am just in love with the way it came out. Look at the color on there, in the purple. So, and I added those. This is one of the frames that I had that I purchased the mold from somewhere. I think this is a Martha Stewart mold. And it's her clay, and I just made a bunch of these, and they were white. And I painted this gold. I used the Cracker Barrel, I think it is, just gold paint. Then I took some black, and if you can see, I went over on the beveled edges and just give it a little definition. And I took some white and went around the edges to soften it up. Added some pink seam binding that I sprayed with some Lindy's right there. Put that on the top. And some little Easter eggs with some little designs on them, as you can see. Some of them look speckled, some of them look like flowers on there, just to give it a little depth. And that is my tag. So thank you so much for coming by and taking a look, and I hope you enjoyed that. And have a great day. Bye-bye.